Hi, I wanted to share with you today what we're doing in our kindergarten alphabet boot camp. You know, in letters, it talks a whole lot about how students in kindergarten need to learn a letter a day, or at least a letter every 1 to 2 days. And it goes on and it talks about how that, that it really, their learning needs to be multisensory. That's how they actually learn best. And it also tells us in letters that, kindergarten is a predictor of reading success. So I just feel very passionate about this. I think the multisensory strategies are, what we need in classrooms, and it's what these children need. And we know that we want all children to be successful in reading. So that's why we have started with this. Of course, we did do a pre-assessment, and we know that the majority of our students this year really do need this. So well, first of all, let me tell you the standards that are covered. Of course, there's a lot of standards that are covered, but one of the standards we're doing is phonemic awareness. It's 9F, and it talks about the initial sound, the initial, middle, and final sound. But right now, we are mostly working on that initial sound, and we picked that up from our pre-assessment that we've done. We're doing phonics 10A and B, and that's where they have to produce this sound of the consonants and the vowels. We're doing fluency 11, where they have to name all the uppercase and lowercase letters, and then also writing. Standard number 34, where we're having to print the upper and lowercase letters and use those approach strokes and use the letter formation on the lines. Okay, so those are the standards that we are working toward. I want to say this, that this is my station. So I have a station in kindergarten where the children actually rotate to me. So they will come, and what they do is they just work in these trays. So all of the trays here, most all of the trays have a button, and so they push the button first. And in the button, this week, or today, we are working with the letter B. So they push the button, and the button says the sound first, because we know in our sound wall training that we need to always start with that sound. So it says the sound, and then it will say the letter name, and then the sound again. So they have to push the button, and they listen, and then they have to pick up their phone, and they have to repeat what it said. So today they had to say B. B spells B. All right, and then they do the activity on the tray. So this one is one of the kids' favorites, and we have our magic apples. And so what they do is they push this little light, it comes on, and when they push the light, they put the B in front of it, or the apple in front of it, and then they can see the letter. And then when they do that, they draw, or they use this little magnetic writing piece that's laying flat on there, and they have to do the correct strokes, to write the letter, the correct formation to write the letter. We have mirrors on here. They push the button, they hear, and then they repeat, and then they have to make this sound and everything in their mirror, make sure that their mouth formation is correct, and they're watching themselves, make the sound. We have the Play-Doh mats where they have to roll out that Play-Doh and they have to form the letter. We have these little Magna-Doodles to where this is has the lines drawn on it, and so they're trying to write the letter on the lines like they're supposed to. We have several things to where they are building the letter. This one is the letters, and they have these little pony beats where they're building. This one, they have cubes where they're building that letter, and I always make sure that they start with this long line down, our first, our first formation part of the letter, and then they do the circle. We also have some trace. They trace, and then they try to write it themselves with dry erase markers. This is distinguishing, just learning the uppercase and the lowercase, where they are putting the correct color cube on their sheet. This one has little tweezers for those fine motors. They have dinosaur bones, and then they have the little dinosaur letter. So they are building that letter B with their dinosaur bones. This is our initial sound. Today was a bear, and bear only eats the pictures that actually start with a B sound. So they know to feed the bear the sound that he loves. And then we have the magnetic wands to where they're trying to do the correct formation when they are, you know, riding their B. And we also have the little road. They love little cars, but they have to drive the car the correct way on the paper. You know, the kids are loving it. We call it our busy table. And so they come in and they are loving the busy table and they want to work. And so we just work around and work on the trays, work in the trays. You know, I just kind of try to take this opportunity to model multisensory strategies and the different things that you can do, you know, to help our students learn. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, the teachers actually seem excited about it, and I'm hoping that they take some of these ideas and, you know, they will, of course, you know, put it in their classrooms, and so that we can, you know, adjust these and we can build that rigor, you know, and still use all these multisensory strategies that we have going on. We can build that rigor, like we can change these letters out for words, and we can even change the words out for, you know, phrases. Like, I just hope that, you know, that we can just continue to do more and more of this, because I know that when we post tests that this is going to be great. So just thanks for letting me share with you just one of the things that we're doing here at Lacey.